Well, welcome back everybody, Smithy here. Welcome back to another episode of our Jurassic World. And where we left off last time, it's when you come back on the world, some of the dinos have a bit of a... They sort of move. They don't spawn the same place where they finished up, but we just have to watch them. Remember, we brought these in. They seem to be... Most of them seem to be alright. You might sort of lose them underground, but they're alright. Right, we're gonna have to get back to our build though. And thank you very much for all the kind words and comments that you've given me on the latest videos. We're starting this version 2 of the T-Rex kingdom. Also, there's a bit in comparison really to the Indominus. It was going to be the Indominus Rex facility as well, although there's some conjecture about that really. So what I'm going to do, someone posted, I can't remember who now, posted that why don't I look at the concept art and why am I changing it? Well, I'm really going to build this new arena based on what we know about the movie and the film. That's why we've got it in terms of this style, because this is what we know. So I'm going to take you through a load of concept art and screenshots just to try and work out why we got to here from our original design. You can go back and around about episode it would have been about 75, 76 to see the old arena, but we'll see it in some pictures now that was here. And someone commented, loads of comments, I can't keep up them all, but it said start the stairwell at the top. Yes, I am going to do that, but I'm going to use a bit of I am going to make it like a soccer, football, hockey stadium, and with the fact we got these walls, it's going to be quite interesting. But the one thing we didn't see in Jurassic World was actually inside here. Now we've seen it inside the Lego game. Lego have different things inside here. It is a forest, it has got water, and it all is going to depend on the stairwell. I don't really see the stairwell coming down anymore. However, there is a possibility I might actually make a sunken area here. I'm not particularly sure yet, but this is all about design. So, and yes, for people who haven't seen the last video, I have not made it exactly coming out there at the moment. I've squared it off this way, and there's quite a big reason about that, because when I hopefully go to the new JurassiCraft World, I've got to port stuff in. Now, funnily enough, I think on the JurassiCraft World we have to, instead of being the main street pointing that way, the main street's going to point that way. So I'm building this in anticipation of rebuilding the main street. I know, you hear me. What? Rebuild it? That took you ages. But we might just put it on, and then we might just change things. I might just rebuild the Innovation Centre to what the new pictures we know, which is a better front end here. I might do all sorts. Anyway, I'm going to continue this series forever, I think, for years to come. So let's come back to this. Before we carry on building, I'm now going to take you through a load of screenshots on this video, and we're going to show you everything I have got. Now, what I say to you, if someone's got another picture that I haven't shown you about the arena that we're building, or the Indominus Rex area, then let me know, please. Get back to me, put on Twitter, post it, give me a link, whatever. So let's head over to the picture show and let's go and discuss or show you what I know about this park. Okay everybody, let's start with this picture. This is one of two official pictures released by the movie of the bigger, louder, more teeth Indominus Rex arrives this summer. Now this is one of the first pictures that we actually got, because a lot of the concept art that we are showing now is now freely available on the web, but it was not available or embargoed before the film came out. So this arena is what we were given. We were given two shots. We were given this one, and then we were given this following one here, which is just a condensed version of the other in terms without the sky. Now, interestingly enough, it sort of gave the impression, we got a monorail over here, and the staircase gave the impression that this was close to the visitor area, but we will never know because they've actually, in terms of purposes, never actually built it, as you will see, and never actually showed us in the movie. However, I built this. This is the design I used for my original park build next to Main Street, around about episode 75, around about 75 of this series. So you can head back there, go and have a look and see what I built then. So that was the original build we had. So, and I based it on this really as close as we get, with the fact is that the main stand was over there, and literally it housed the Indominus Rex. So there we go. So that was what we were given as a bit of a snippet, and it was posted, and so that's what I built. Since then we know a little bit more with the movies come out, and we've got loads more shots. Now this is concept art, one of the early concept arts that were available, and you can see the helipad up here, and yeah, guys and girls, I know the helipad's here. We can see, we think, and I would totally agree with you, the fact that it's got this on the top, that this is the control room. Interestingly enough, the control room does not sit directly above, on this particular idea, does not sit directly above the Innovation Centre. However, we know that you go through the back of the Innovation Centre and there's access to this via a lift or whatever. But that's one of the other things I'm building in the last 2 episodes. This is a sort of arena here. Now you can see the trees. Now we did obviously none of these we had before the movie. You can see the Mosasaurus arena here. You can see the hotel as it was originally planned, and it's one of the early designs. This also follows the map of the island, Isla Nublar, that came out much earlier before the movie. So it's pretty cool, and you can see the T-Rex Kingdom is over here with a bit of a pathway like that, and here's Main Street as it was then, with the 2 towers there, cinema going across the Mosasaurus arena. So that's what we got, and all these are all all mixed up because I've got a load of pictures here, and we just need to go through them, and I haven't had time to go through 50 pictures and sort them out. So let's move on. This is the famous scene, of course, towards the end, where literally Claire draws T-Rex out. Now I don't know why this is sort of a design that never got into the game, but you can see it's the old-fashioned doors here before the movie, and you can see it being drawn out. So it's quite an older picture, but it gives a clue of how the movie was going to happen and occur. So that's pretty good. Lots of industrial car. It's obviously been here a while. Tarmac, proper curbstones, posts, and whatever. It's pretty cool. Now this is nothing to do with the previous shots. This is where Indominus Rex obviously started growing, and this shows where they had it out in the middle of the jungle, and this is the paddock as such. Now this paddock is quite secure compared with the one we actually seen in the final movie. You've got a viewing area here, you've also got these blocks here, and you've got it is really sturdy, but we saw a much more flimsier thing in the movie. But again, it had floodlights, it had trees inside, so this is completely different, and I built this as well as a paddock further out on the island where the Indominus Rex was growing up. Now this is a preconception of that same paddock. You got the lights matching up, you got the I-Rex sitting here, and something that came from the original JP movies is this here, which is a moat. Now you'd think about it, if you go to most zoos with elephants and rhinos and all that, they've all got moats, haven't they? They've all put moats, so very similar to a zoo style with the viewing area, and that obviously changed into the film where the thing grew and they didn't have time to have some fantastic area like this. But you would, if you were running a dinosaur park, you'd be prepared, you'd be preparing for this sort of stuff. So it's a pretty cool concept art again of the paddock. Here's the interior of the paddock. They were still building it somewhere in the mountains, in the forest, and the I-Rex just watching people through, and the I-Rex knew. And then there's another sort of doorway over the far side that they were building. So there you go, more concept art. Now this came quite early on. Now this is concept art of obviously the I-Rex being attacked. It's almost like the end of the movie as may have been conceived originally. This is obviously a control room that someone's in here. It's got a control panel, and here's the I-Rex being attacked by the raptors. I-Rex biting off some mechanical, I think it's sort of almost in a mechanical head here. You will notice the two people down here, look, Volcano in the back, and then Mrs. T-Rex being led by Claire. Look at that, being led by Claire into this arena, which is quite interesting. So she led T-Rex out of somewhere and then into somewhere nearby, so it sort of gives the indication of maybe two paddocks rather than one that we saw in the final movie. So yeah, so it's quite an interesting concept art, and this came out very, very late. This sort of matches a floodlit stand area where people could watch whatever show was going on, so that's pretty cool. This is going back to the paddock outside in somewhere out a long way away with the paddock gates and all that, where I-Rex was just allowed to go around in its thing and being watched. This is concept art of the paddock. This is getting very similar to what we saw in the movie, although all we saw in the movie was this, this and this. It's the one I built is much smaller. I sort of built it sort of smaller, but I think really the fact of the I-Rex, maybe it was a bit bigger and maybe it was an octagon, so it's pretty cool to see this concept art. And it's well away, this paddock is well away from any visitors, out of sight, out of mind, with a helicopter pad, so it's nowhere near the other helicopter pad, so it's out in the middle of nowhere. But you can see that looks very much like the movie. Right, here we go. Now, this is, and we'll go here, look at this. So this is really very close to how the park ended up in terms of concept. We've got the main street. This never ended up like this, but you could do that. You've got sort of some of the buildings, but what we've got here is this access point over here, and by the Spinosaurus down here, a different type of access point. But as you can see in the concept art, it is quite open. This here is the Pachycephalosaurus arena that we're talking about, which seems to be some sort of area. This is the water park. We never did see, I would have loved to see a bit more about this. This may be in the petting zoo here. Petting zoo looks like over here. And you can see the Innovation Centre had a sort of more elaborate design, which was probably more traditional, which changed. And there's a station. In that one, the station came in and out. So this is similar again, but the monorails are different. But this is what we want to see over here. The fact is that the T-Rex Kingdom is a stadium as such, which this is very close to what we ended up with, in that there was access road here with the access door here, and then you can see the T-Rex in here and the log. Now you don't know, this looks like the log where people were viewing, and then you can see that the way they've done it is, this is what I'm going to build, is the stand sits above the arena, so it must be on stilts because the T-Rex can get on underneath. So this is very similar to what we ended up with. We only saw, as we will get, some different things, and then here's the promenade. So that's pretty cool. Helipad and control room up there, but again, things didn't match up in the movie because they ran through here, ran through the back, and got to the control room pretty quick. So there must be some sort of access tunnel to this area rather than this road that goes up to the control room and the helipad. Right, move on. Loads of pictures has gone out. So this is one of the first screenies we got to see before the movie. You can see now this is the bit I've built, and we're already starting. So what I'm using, and we'll see another one. This is a big door here, and we'll see some more pictures later of this. And this is the sort of cabling I was talking about in the last video. And then it goes around the corner, but we'll see a clearer picture of that. So this is looking from the Hilton Hotel on the left. This is, and you can see where I'm getting all my thoughts, and this is how I go about building in terms of really looking at attention to detail and trying the best with what we got. I can't wait. 19th of October and Blu-ray comes out, and I'll be having the Blu-ray on this computer, watching it and updating stuff as we go along. So you can see this massive promenade. You can see the arena over here, and I've got some more close-ups, better ones. But the arena is looking like that original concept art, but the station has moved. So let's move on. Right, here is a really cool, this is again from an early clip. This is where I've taken my design for the Hilton Hotel. There's this massive hotel that I have not built. There's this hotel complex here. There's the Mosasaurus Arena again. And this is my design that I'm using. You notice now, you will see that in my design, there's the wall walk from the Spinosaurus. Here is the actual arena with a square and this shape. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the logs from the previous one, and we're going to put the trees in and make an arena which looks very similar like this. What gets me though is this, it's almost like got a very small roof at the top. Now I think that's where people walk around, and it overhangs, you notice here. You've got this little overhang. So it's sort of an area where people walk around and then come down to their seats, because they can't get from their seats from below, because it's where the T-Rex can live inside. So it's quite interesting. And T-Rex obviously can move straight to the doors as she came out in the movie. That's the same picture again. Right, all this does, I thought it showed, yeah, that's just access points. Here's one access point which is closed off to public. The other main access point to T-Rex Kingdom is next to the Innovation Centre, and this was the gate. There's another picture in a minute which shows it a bit clearer actually, and that's the helipad, etc. Oh, here we go, look. So this is the Spinosaurus area is here, which is almost like the goods entrance, and then the big main visitor entrance, which I've known about for some time, is here. And you can see here the main gates and a bit of design. This reflects really almost a similar design to the Jurassic Park San Diego images that we've seen in the Lost World, I think it is. So if you have a look at that, San Diego, it's very similar design to that in terms of the stadium, sort of caught stuff from there. This is the other end, looking from the top of the Innovation Centre. Here is the truck, or a truck, and this is the access to almost like the public access to the kingdom. However, this was also used in the film where Claire drove the truck in after being attacked by the Velociraptors. Right, let's have a look. This is some close-ups here of the arena as such. So now you'll see where A, B, and C. A is the entrance via the Spinosaurus. Here are the peaks here. Here is the walled area, which is on my design will be much shorter because I haven't got as much room. And then here are the big doors, which are also on my design, which I showed earlier. And we can see that on this there is a mini roof which goes round. It's sort of like a stadium which stands out, and I think that's how the people get in. But again, we didn't see, this is probably the clearest spell apart from the design app. You can see that it's sort of an area where the T-Rex can walk around inside, and you can see the IMAX cinema and the Ben & Jerry's here. Yes, that's Ben & Jerry's. So then we'll see another picture which is just a closer look at the walkway here. You can see that wall I've built here. This is going to be fun how I design this and how I get, but the stadium is not going to have as many seats because you can see it's sort of not right. The people should be much bigger because the stadium isn't that big, but it's sort of artificially made to look bigger than it is. And there's another picture of the whole thing in front of the house as such. So again, that's what I hope to finish up with before the end of the build. Another picture. Right, this is when the pteranodons and the dimorphodons are attacking, and everybody bursts through these gates. So this is going out towards the Spinosaurus, where they're backing the truck back. And you can see that that's the wall which is backs onto the front area of the park, and this is the really big high really thick wall. I'm going to show another picture of this. So here's one of the first pictures where Claire and Nick and they're going, there's the doors that I've done, there's the wires I've used, and you can see that really this is on the set. It's not as big as the artwork, because this should go way down there to get the to get it as big as that previous picture. If you think about that, the door, if we go back here, the door's there, and I think if we go back out, and we can't now, it's still quite a long way to that corner. So let's go back to this. Right, this is from the Jurassic World game on the iPad, the Samsung, on whatever. And this is where the dinosaurs come in to battle. Very similar door from what we've seen in the movie, which shows, as you will from this, that the helicopter comes, drops them in to here, and then they come out. And there's also, interestingly, they've put a viewing area up here, very similar. So they've sort of taken their designs from different bits and pieces, and probably some artwork they had, so it's quite interesting. One more picture. The helicopter brings in the dino, that's what it does, and parks it behind there. Now that would fit in that alleyway. You could actually fly something in and drop it in the alleyway, open the doors, and then bring it into the arena. So that's how you could actually bring stuff in. Right, that's another clip of the people running in again. You can just see this heavy duty cement, concrete foundations and stuff. That's again another picture. You can see the fact that design has these pillars, which I've put sort of pillars in just to keep the wall upright. But if you think that what they're missing on this is they never put in like the top of the stadium, because this stadium should be a proper stadium with the overhanging bit, but really it's just the set as it is, and that's the wall that goes round, and we haven't done that bit yet. We've sort of done the angle but not that bit. Right, yeah, another picture there of them all watching what's happening. So very similar. You can see the buttressing, the drain pipes, lots of hydraulics. And again, this is where you would bring in the T-Rex, so T-Rex can come out of here. And we've seen this, and that's just the wall here to stop people. So it's like an access area really, more than anything else. That's it. Now this is called the aquatic park, but Claire was driving the truck, and it's actually not the aquatic park, it's actually the same gate I was talking about, the innovation centre being over here behind where we are. And then you've got them running in again. Right, okay, this is again another concept art of the gap, Hilton here, this other big hotel here, and you can see the island going out. It's pretty cool. This is sort of some play park. There's the Pachycephalosaurus arena. There's the aquarium in their design, and you've got this this coming across here. Now, there's the Mosasaurus arena, which didn't end up looking like that, did it? It was more like a SeaWorld there. It ended up completely different, but early design. But yet again, you've still got this key design with the trees in the middle, T-Rex, which sort of gives the fact it is very much like the T-Rex with the trees and the redwoods inside. Right, okay, so early design. There's inside the paddock, that's another piece of artwork. Oh, now this is interesting. So now this is an exhibit which we never did get to see, which I think is why we have the T-Rex coming out of the T-Rex arena, which I'm building now. This is the Velociraptor arena. You can see that it's almost on the sort of, it's smaller than the Mosasaurus arena, but it's not as big as the other arena. You can see the volcano in the background. So if I'm going over back to this, the volcano here, it's over to the right. So this Velociraptor viewing area is not this. It is not this. It is not that. It is over here somewhere, and the volcano is over across to the right. So this is something again that we never did see. But you can see the Velociraptors here. It's a show. The Velociraptors were so well trained, and it's all videoed and whatever. But there was obviously a show where Owen was chased by the Velociraptors, and he jumped the gap, because look, you can see Owen here, and you can see a Spinosaurus skeleton, another link to Spinosaurus. And this is obviously where, if we go right back to the beginning, we saw that where Claire was leading in the T-Rex into here, where Indominus Rex was being attacked by the Velociraptors. So this seems to be an exhibit that we never did see, and it's something that you know, when I get to do the basic stuff, i.e. the big builds, this is something I think I would like to build, is a Velociraptor arena. I'm wondering whether or not this is actually in the wilds or not, but it's obviously quite close, because in that picture we've seen previously, we saw Claire dragging. I wonder if I can just bring that up. Cool, blimey, 20 minutes gone. I've just been yappering away. Where is that picture? This one. In fact, if I drag this across. So here's that picture that matches up. And it is, Claire is bringing in. So it sort of gives the indication that this Velociraptor area was quite close, but not as close as we think. So there you go, that's the Velociraptor attraction, which we never did see, but it's really cool artwork. Imagine watching it on the TV being chased by, it looks like, you know, the Velociraptors had head cams. So Velociraptor there is Velociraptor there, and if this one had the head cam on, you could watch, there you go, you could watch him being chased by the Velociraptors, which I tell you what, absolute madness. As we know, he wouldn't survive. He would have died, but hey, there's another build. Right, to finish off then, we come to my original build, and this was obviously based on the original design for an Indominus Rex arena, and I thought, well, at this time when I built this, it was last 8 months ago, and we didn't have much to go on, so I built this arena based on that original Indominus Rex arena. So I still could actually use this as the Indominus Rex arena in a bigger world, and hopefully I'll be moving to bigger worlds soon. So we could actually have the T-Rex Kingdom, the new Indominus Rex exhibit, and a Velociraptor exhibit as well. I think that'd be really cool, almost like to have 3 massive exhibits close to each other. So this is not lost, this build that I did. And there's another picture, and then that's the, of course it had the T-Rexes in. I sort of used it for T-Rexes because that's all we had, and that's looking, I put it on this place which we're now building on again. So that brings us back, you can see the likeness there to that, and that was my original design. So that's it, that's really the whole video. We're going to just head back to the arena in the map just to finish off, but I thought, you know, once I started this, I thought let's go through all the pictures I have and work out how we do. So let's head back to the other place. So now we're back here, you can see the problems I have with this map. The fact is the map is too small. I mean, the buildings are the right size, but there's not enough gap between here and here, and then that the Pachycephalosaurus arena, and the angle is different. So that's why I'm building this, which if it was moved back as it should do, would actually match the Mosasaurus arena, and would match the hotel across there. And oh, always the way in it, you start doing this and then it starts raining. So there we go, looking cool anyway. So that's why I'm building as it is. We shall see how we will fit it into the new big Isla Nublar. I know, speaking to JurassiCraft team, that, and you're probably watching, I am really hopefully going to get on that map and start bringing stuff in. So I'm trying to now design stuff which will go into the map and still fit, because really this is the right, that's the right size, that's the right size, that's really the right size. This is too short, i.e. it needs to be a bit longer, but this is what we're concentrating on now. And you can see that in another map I would make this a lot longer into Main Street, and Main Street would be straight instead of at an angle, but this is a particular Main Street I built, so there we go. Now on this I've made this fit, and that's the whole point, because over here is the back gate, as we said from the pictures, and that means we can have an access point over here. Until you see the arena, you can see the steps there. It's actually not that big. It looks sort of big, but it's not. Now, the only thing it doesn't give is you've got these fantastic gates here, which we talked about, but really there must have been stairwells inside, because you have seen the design that the steps will only come down to here, and T-Rex is almost about this high, because if you remember, T-Rex fits through these gates. So the actual stand as such would not only come down to here, because on the original design it would be on pillars, and the T-Rex could come under the fans over here and walk around, because the T-Rex comes out of these gates, of course. So that's what we're building. That's what we're going to build now. I'm sorry, we had no building now, but I thought, because of what people were saying, let's have a really good stop and think at how I come to design these worlds. You will notice as well, I'll be uploading the next episode of my Star Wars Hoth map. Again, you will see on the second episode of that I really probably like to go OCD on getting it exactly as best I can using Minecraft exactly like it is. I'm sort of rather than use my own initiative on it or to go over the top, I like to recreate my builds. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that episode. That's like a bit different, no building, but that sort of hopefully shows you the extent of research that I go into trying to build it. And you can see if I come right down here, and you remember that picture where Claire was there it is. Now with Minecraft I've sort of made the area here, but that's as best I can do, and trying to keep that design. Probably the fact it doesn't need to come down as far as this, but it's still, I probably could have made it not as wide, but I think when you see the finished product, and I have that in my mind even though I haven't even got there yet, I have the finished product with the trees in, and I think we'll actually get there, so that'll be pretty good. So again, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys and girls. Please press that like button, please make comments, also share the video, please share it on whatever you want. For people downloading the map, the maps on Planet Minecraft is the 1.7 version. Don't try and run it in 1.8 or you'll get all these funny trees and stuff and no dinosaurs. So if you that map is 1.7.10, just a word of warning. When we get around this we'll get to a 1.8 map, but no time soon. Please don't ask, because I'm not going to do anything soon with this build. So there you go, rambling, but there we go. Thanks very much indeed for watching. Bye bye, speak to you next time. Thanks very much.